to hard boil the eggs, I'm gonna do it in my Instant Pot because it's super quick and easy and they peel really easily if you make them in this. You could also just hard boil your eggs on the stove if you prefer and don't have an Instant Pot, that will work too. But you just wanna have them good and hard boiled and cooked all the way through. So to put them in the Instant Pot, what I'm gonna do, with the fun little sounds. Okay, so we can't find the little rack that goes in here, so instead we're using a metal steamer basket. And I'm just gonna pop that down in there. And now we're gonna put in our eggs. I'm gonna do 10 eggs because we're doing a quart of pickled eggs, and that's how many should fit in a quart. And 10. Okay, now we're gonna add 1 cup of water, and it's just cold tap water, to the pot. All right, now we're just gonna put on the lid. And lock it. Okay, so we got the little steam thingy on sealing, and we're gonna turn it on. It's already plugged in. We're gonna turn it on to manual. And we're gonna put it down to 5 minutes. And then we're going to just let it do its thing. Sure, okay, there it goes. We're just gonna let that go until it's done, and then we'll do the next step. Now I'm gonna let it vent naturally for 5 minutes, and then we will flip the little vent thingy and get the eggs out. Okay, so the eggs have cooked and we've opened up the Instant Pot. So now I'm gonna take this insert out carefully because it's hot. And I'm just gonna put some cold water in here. If you have ice, put ice in this, but we don't have any right now. So I'm just gonna put cold water in, and I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit, and then I'm just gonna replace it a few times so that they cool down quickly, and then it'll be time to peel them. So at least you wanna let them sit for 5 minutes in the cold water to cool down. Okay, so now the eggs have been sitting in the cold water for a little bit to get cooled down, and now we're gonna peel them. And I've got some of them already peeled here, but I'm gonna keep peeling them. And the great thing about using the Instant Pot is that the eggs peel really easily. Okay, so we have our eggs all nice and peeled. And I don't think all of these are gonna fit. I think I might have a couple extra, but that's all right. And I have some red onion and some garlic cloves over here that I'm gonna chop up. And then over here I have, this is 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar with 1/2 cup of water. And then in here I have 2 tablespoons of salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. And I'm gonna use that to make the brine. But before we make the brine, I'm gonna run outside to grab some fresh dill from the garden, which I'm very excited about. So let's go do that real quick. Get in here. Okay.
That looks like fresh dill that you picked from your own garden.
It is fresh dill that we picked from our own garden.
Are you happy about that?
I am so happy about that.
I'm so happy about that.
Whatever, sunburn kid.
Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is put the vinegar and water in my saucepan and the salt and sugar. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I will put the recipe for this down in the description. All right, so now I'm just gonna turn the stove on to a little bit higher than low. Our stove runs really hot. So we're just gonna heat up our vinegar, water, salt, sugar mixture until the salt and sugar dissolve, and then we'll take it off the heat. All right, so the brine has heated up and I turned it off and everything dissolved. It only took a couple of minutes. So now I'm gonna take this garlic and I'm just gonna crush it. I already peeled it. Okay, so there's our garlic. Now I'm just gonna slice up half of this onion. There we go. Okay, so first what I'm gonna put like half of my garlic and my onions in the bottom of the jar. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick one of my dills down in there, and I'm just sticking the whole thing in. I'm gonna break this off a little bit. There we go. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start putting in my eggs. And I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of black peppercorns down in there too. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. That looks about right. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna pour the hot brine over everything. And you want to make sure it covers everything, and there should be at least about a 1/4 inch of head space. So my one egg is kind of trying to float on me there, but I think it's pretty well covered. All right, so I got everything in there, so now I'm gonna put on a lid. And it's ready to go in the fridge. So I put the lid on here, and this brine isn't super hot anymore, so I am gonna go ahead and put it in the fridge after I get done filming this. So you'll wanna wait 3 to 4 days before you try them so that they have kind of a chance to develop the flavor, and of course you can go longer, that's great. These will last 3 to 4 months in the fridge. I'm not canning these, and you can't can pickled eggs safely. It's a really bad botulism risk, and I know some people say you can, but it's really unsafe, so don't do that. And also, don't leave these out on the counter or in your pantry. They will not last like that. You need to put them in the fridge. But in the fridge, they'll last for a really, a pretty long time, 3 to 4 months. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one.